Welcome to the PoP. Welcome to the PoP. On the Warner Sports Network. With your hosts, Genefitzmagic. James Wudi. Nigel down. And Caleeb Pinkett. The PoP. Welcome to the PoP. Welcome to the PoP.
I told you I'm never not going to do that because I love that track. I love the intro track, and we are doing it. We are back after a couple weeks of missing. We are missing crew members. We are finding new crew members. We are doing all the things with all the crews, and now we're back, y'all. We're doing it.
Yes, sir.
We're doing it. The PoP is back. And you know what? I am just as excited to get to some of these topics. But before that, let's go around the horn, introduce ourselves. I will introduce you with their name, and then we'll go through a little bit. And then we got a brand new guest to the pod. So excited. First of all, Mr. James Wudi, how are you, my guy?
We back, baby. I mean, it's been tough. You know, I do not envy those who have addictions that are just forced for one reason or another into just stopping some cold turkey. But that's exactly how I felt these last couple of weeks, not being able to get my fix of the pop off. I've just been fiending. When's my next hit coming? When's it coming? Well, here it is. We're popping off, baby. I'm feeling good.
Awesome. Good. Love it. Mr. Genefitzmagic.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, I love how we got two babies out of that intro from Wudi, right? Usually you get one a show. We got two in the intro. Yeah, man. Wasn't able to make it a few weeks ago. Had a family emergency, not an emergency, but just some family stuff. And then there was 4th of July, I think, right? And then I think last week it was just an off week, so we're back. And yeah, so I'm glad to finally be back with the guys on a Friday. We're gonna miss Caleeb today. No Caleeb. He's obviously, as everybody knows, he's part of the whole Cobra Kai universe, and so it's a busy week or two for him. So shout out to him. Shout out to Cobra Kai. Yeah, man. You know what? I believe, and I don't want to give it away, so I'm not going to say it, but I believe there'll be something that Celso will be doing with Caleeb very soon. So I don't know if that's supposed to be a secret or not. So we'll let Celso announce that. Should I announce Rob?
Yeah, man, go on and do it. We got a new face in the pod right here, man, to complete the Fantastic Four. Gene, go on and introduce your buddy, man. Appreciate you.
Well, yeah, listen, this kid, he's a good kid, although he is a Celtics and a Tatum fan, and we all know how I feel about Tatum.
Oh,
we all know
rough
how I feel about Tatum.
Rough start.
Player in the NBA, man.
Well, let's take it easy. Let's take it easy. But he's a good kid. We debate sports pretty much all day, every day, me and this kid. So I said to him when I knew Caleeb couldn't make it, I hit him up this morning. I said, "Hey, would you want to come on and hang out with a couple of sports nuts?" And you know what? He said, "Yeah, let's do it." So here he is. Rob, tell him a little bit about yourself.
What's up, man? I'm Rob. I'm a Celtics fan. You know, a Yankees fan. Don't even judge that. You know, it's a bit of a story, but could get into that at some point. Celtics, Yankees, Steelers. You know, so feeling good coming off a championship. Yeah.
And he has this illusion that Brandon Ayuk will be a Steeler. We'll see.
Hey, listen, I don't know. Yeah, Rob, you know what? Me and you have one thing in common as well. I'm also a dedicated Steelers fan. And I believe Ayuk there's a good probability that Ayuk joins black and yellow. There's a good probability. Just saying.
He likes Mike Tomlin, and he likes George Pickens.
Yeah, man.
George Pickens is the most overrated receiver in the league.
Okay, Sam Darnold, get out of here. Listen, we got a lot of things to accomplish today. So I'm excited to have everybody on board. And if you are here with us, whether you are on YouTube X, or whatever social media medium is your choice. Don't forget to like, subscribe, do all those things, reshare, share, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your grandmothers, tell your grandfathers, because we are up in here. And with that being said, we got to talk about what's going on in the NBA, because if you haven't been paying attention, or if you haven't seen anything, then you must have been under a rock, because the first day of free agency was wild. So let's get into it and let's talk about the winners and losers. We're going to kind of go through in the list. Some are going to overlap, some may not. That's totally fine. You can go through 1 through 4, 1 through 5. You can do whatever you want, but I want to know, everybody wants to know. We're going to start with you, Wudi. Everybody wants to know the winners and losers. Name some players. Choose one player who won in free agency and maybe one who lost in free agency.
Winner chicken dinner. Give me Isaiah Hartenstein. All right. He signed a massive deal. This is not a New York Knicks biased pick, because obviously I wanted him to sign with the Knicks, So I had to remove my heart from the equation. Open heart surgery, remove my heart from the equation when I looked at the players. But I mean, let's talk about it. He's been in the league at this point for 5 years, and his career earnings for those 5 years add up to a little bit under $21 million for those 5 years. He has now signed a deal. Well, he will earn $28.5 million per year. So the man has done glowed up. He's a come up, if you will. A massive raise. It's well deserved, well earned. I don't know how it could be somebody else that's in a better situation, because not only does he have that massive raise, making a lot of money for himself and his family, but he is joining the Oklahoma City Thunder, the same Thunder that were the best team in the stacked West last year, and now they have what is a missing piece. You saw Chet. I love Chet, but that man is skin and bones, all right? Going down there trying to get a rebound over anybody that's not 6'8" or below is tough. It's tough. And now they have Hartenstein to be that enforcer. He's a dog, right? So there's that attitude factor, but also the production on the court, the rebounding, the passing. He will fit in perfectly with that group of kids, talented group of kids that are looking to be big dogs for the years to come. I think that's a slam dunk. He's definitely a winner. I'm realizing that you also asked for a loser, so allow me to say a loser. DeJounte Murray, who was on the Hawks, right? He looked really good on the Spurs, right? People were really high on him on the Spurs. Then when he was on the Hawks, it was like, oh, they got a nice backcourt. There's only one ball to go around. So they knew they had to blow it up. Choose Trey or DeJounte. I thought they were actually going to choose DeJounte. I thought Trey was out of there, but they chose. They made their choice. And now Trey goes to a team where they are so point guard starved. They got everybody bringing the ball up. CJ McCollum bringing up the ball. Brandon Ingram, all of a sudden, a point forward bringing up the ball. Zion, when he's on the court, bringing up they got everybody bringing up the ball. So now his issue of being almost useless off ball is compounded, because now he's going to a place where it's all just primary ball handlers. And I think this is one of the worst fits for DeJounte Murray going to the Pelicans. I think that he's a huge loser in free agency.
Wow, with an exclamation point at the end. A huge loser, pause, in free agency. I love it. Gene.
First off, I'm surprised you go Hartenstein, not Hartenstein. I go Hartenstein.
Are you for real?
Yeah, Hartenstein. But I think it's a great fit, because I think they're going to let him be the primary ball handler. I think he's going to be the one. I think that they got him to be that guy to distribute. So I don't think it's a bad fit. I get what you're saying. If they would have run their system the way they had ran it, then it's a bad fit. I think they brought him in for a reason. I think they brought him in to be the guy. The losers on that end are the Hawks. The Hawks they traded the wrong guy, like you just said. I agree with you wholeheartedly. They really should have traded Trey Young, and they didn't. But But my winner on this is I'll go Hartenstein, but I also got to go. And again, not free agency; it was a trade. I'm gonna go. I say Hartenstein, Danny. I'm sorry, but I gotta say, Mikal Bridges to get him out of Brooklyn, which is like a dumpster fire, right? I mean, nothing. Brooklyn is where players go to die. They took some of the best NBA ball players of this era, put them in Brooklyn, and they couldn't even get past the first round of the playoffs. So to get him out of that, to work with, wholeheartedly with his Nova Knicks, it's gonna be like basketball heaven at the Garden, and there is only one true Garden in the NBA, and it's the Madison Square Garden. There's that, but but I don't think my loser for players is there's not a loser in the bunch. They've all made crazy money. People are making $50 million a year. There's no NBA player that lost. I don't think there's an NBA player that lost. There's some teams that lost, but not the players, man. The players made out just fine. But yeah, I mean, I'll go with my teams that lost once it comes back around. But I don't think there's a loser in the bunch. They all made crazy money this year. God bless them. Maybe a Chua might not get as much money as he thought, and I would love to see him come back to the Knicks, and maybe that might be an L. But he's gonna make crazy money anyway, more money than we will ever see in our lifetimes. Hopefully not, but maybe possibly. But yeah, I gotta say, there's not a loser in the bunch, man.
Okay, all right. And Rob, now you've gotten a little bit of a taste.
After Rob goes, you missed the segment, Nigel.
No. I was gonna do it after this segment. Trust.
Okay.
I got the setup.
Okay.
Yeah, I know what you're
All right.
talking about. Yeah,
Okay.
today I was gonna switch it up because I want to make sure that we get Rob indoctrinated first. So you know what's up, man. Give us a winner, give us a loser from NBA free agency 2024.
I like the Isaiah Hartenstein pick. I really do. He got a lot of money, and that's a good fit for him for sure. Let's say maybe DeMar DeRozan, because he finally gets out of he gets out of Chicago. Now he goes to Sacramento. They probably won't be a contender, but I mean, Chicago, they've been stuck in turmoil for I don't know how many years now. Seems like, they kind of want to rebuild, but they don't want to rebuild. You never know what Chicago is going to do. You still don't know what Chicago is going to do. But now DeMar DeRozan's out of there. He's getting, I think it was 3 years for 74. It's a good contract. Say either him or Jonathan Isaac, because Isaac got a really good deal too, and he hasn't really played much, even though he has been good in his minutes, but he hasn't had too much of an opportunity. But they gave him 5 years, 85. I know it wasn't fully guaranteed, but as long as he stays on the court, that's a good contract for him.
I think you're right, man. I like what you're saying, Gene.
No, I wanted to piggyback off that. Our darling teams coming into the NBA season last year was Sacramento. I think this is a great fit for a guy that's on the second half of his career. Maybe be some veteran leadership. That's what they kind of need over there a little bit. That's a young team for the most part. I gotta agree that is a good fit. I didn't even think of that one.
Yeah, and he's stoked to be there too. Like as soon as the trade happened, he was posting, there's images, Sacramento. I think a fan got a tattoo, like his name tattooed on something. Like they're also what Gene was referring to earlier, just because I know the listeners out there are wondering, you guys missed a thing. Rob, I'm gonna let you in on this. I wear a different hat to every podcast. I have yet to repeat a hat, and this hat is no exception. Now, this one is special. The hats always relate to something sports related. There it is, sports related during the week or the past week, maybe we missed a week or whatever. Last week, I gave Gene and Celso, our producer, I gave them I gave Wudi and Celso a little sneak peek into the hats I was going to wear last week. I had 4 hats lined up for last week's show. They won't make sense anymore, but maybe I'll wear them in the future. But I digress. We all know what this is. It's the U, baby. The U. Why am I wearing University of Miami hat? Well, one, because they have been my favorite university team from time. Not to mention, if you haven't watched the U, the 2009 documentary, you need to, because if you want to see how universities used to roll in the 90s, that is the quintessential 90s, early 2000s, the U. times and also bone up on your history because a ton of NFL star players, all-star players, trophy winners have come from this educational system, this program. However, how does that tie in, Nigel? The answer is this. Wow. Your boy has already got his copy of College Football 25. It is loading up in the PS5 as we speak. I'm going to be hitting this all weekend, kids. I've been paying attention. I've been watching videos. I'm stoked. This is the reason for me wearing the U hat. And check it out. Look at this video. Got that big U there. You got that University of Miami green, that University of Miami yellow. You got the Hurricane logo up in there. Look at that. Look at that mascot right there. Snapback, y'all. Surprise is a Michelin Ness. So you know what? Our brim is a little ducky. It's a little duck build, but it's okay. You got that gray under. Woo! All right, let's get the show back on the road. We are still talking about NBA free agency. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you like, subscribe, reshare, share, do all the things for the pod, helping us out here at the Pop Off. Let's talk about the winners and losers from teams. Now, we had jumped into players, and we had just mentioned Sacramento as a team as a whole getting DeMar DeRozan. So that's a win. But let's talk about the other teams that won and the other teams that lost. Let's start with you, Gene.
All right, so teams that lost, man, it's got to be the Clippers, right? I mean, like the Clippers. I mean, just when you think they were actually going to be good, man,
It's got to be the Clippers.
they miss out on keeping. They keep the guy that's overpaid, never plays the ball game, and they let the guy walk that really is the guy that really should be your leader. They get rid of Russ, but I don't know what kind of fit Russ was there anyway. They keep in James Harden. Is James Harden to fit anywhere anymore? It's got to be the Clippers. And the team that won, it kind of ties into the Clippers, is the 76ers. I'd love to say the Knicks, and I think that's a better fit what they did. But listen, Sixers just added a third star to their team, right? I mean, I think Maxey is a bona fide star. I love Maxey. They could be the one seed this year. Listen, health is a major issue, right? So, with that team, PG's going to get hurt, I'm sure. Embiid's going to get hurt, I'm sure. But if they don't, that could be the one seed, man. Why not?
I think that's great. I think it's a great analogy. I think that makes sense. That's what I was thinking too. I was like, Philly might be on top of there. I mean, we're going to see what happens, see if this team crumbles. But right now on paper, I mean, they're top of the East, I think. Rob, what do you think, man? Winners and losers, teams?
I think the Sixers, they got to be the biggest winner. Not just getting Paul George, but some of the moves that they've made around the edges too. They got Caleb Martin, Andre Drummond. They've made a few other signings too. Oklahoma City, I think, is a huge winner, getting Alex Caruso in exchange for Josh Giddey. Giddey's a good player, but I think he's kind of redundant with some of the other players that they have. So I think both teams are going to win that trade, actually. I think that's good for Chicago as well. But them getting Alex Caruso, 3-and-D guy, and then on top of that, getting Hartenstein. And they didn't really have to give up anything either, except Josh Giddey.
The only one who really loses in that is Chicago. Hide your daughters, Chicago. Hide your daughters. Allegedly.
Let's move on. Wudi. Allegedly.
I had a whole bunch of bullets explaining why that the Sixers. I feel like how is it not the Sixers? I was expecting Gene's bias to blind him from the fact that is clearly the Sixers. So I'm so proud. I'm so proud because Gene, he was the first one to go. He could have said, "Oh, Knicks, baby, Knicks tape," and all this. He could have said a lot of things. But to acknowledge a division rival has actually really bolstered up their roster. And then Rob to go the next level to talk about some of the other players. Yeah, Paul George is nice, right? When Phoenix got KD, that was nice. But when it was time to play in the playoffs, all they had was KD. And Booker and I can't remember his name because he disappeared in the playoffs, disappeared from my mind. But for the Sixers, like what Rob said, they got Caleb Martin. They got other players that will also make a difference. Depth. We are so in love with the shallow, this top three, this big three. But without depth, you ain't shit. So the Sixers did a masterful job of getting depth behind their big three. They are the winners, in my opinion. When I was thinking in my head, oh, you know what? Let me pivot. Let me go to another team. The next team I thought of was OKC. So fuck you, Rob. All right, you out here coming up with other teams. But yeah, OKC did a fantastic job. Like we already said, they were the first seed in the West. They didn't have too many holes to fill. They might have only had two, and they filled them both. Bang, bang, like that. So that's a pretty good offseason. My loser, how is it not the Los Angeles Lakers? The Lakers who tied themselves to every free agent and their mama. We getting Clay.
They do every year. Be fair.
But they usually get somebody. They get somebody.
Okay.
We got AD.
Well, last year they
got
didn't.
Russ. We got 45-year-old Melo. Like this time around, they got Bronny. They got Bronny. That's what they got. We talking about Clay. We talking about Trey. We talking about DeMar. Nah. Y'all got Bronny.
He went to the Spurs instead of going to the Lakers. He didn't even want to play with LeBron. He'd rather play with Wemby.
So they lost, man. They lost.
Wemby
They are. I don't even know what type of move. They literally making PR moves. Bronny is here. JJ is the coach. They not even trying to win. They just trying to sell tickets, man. So they have lost. They lost.
Amazing. All facts. And also, we should mention, shout out to what's up, Sean? What's up, Danny? And Danny had posed a question. Wait, what do you guys think about the Capella rumors? Now, I had to look that up because I didn't hear about any of that. But now it says new blockbuster trade proposed sends Clint Capella to New York, Julius Randle to the Lakers as the Hawks restock assets. And that was 2 hours ago, this article I found. So what do we think about Capella to the Knicks?
If they do that trade, Leon Rose is gonna have to meet me at UFC 305, man. What are we talking about?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. Listen, I like Clint Capella as a piece. I'm not trading an all NBA player for him when healthy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like Julius Randle's an all NBA player. He's a waiting triple double at times. To trade him for Clint Capella? Come on. I feel like this is like someone just put this up to troll. Like there's no way that's true. There's no way, unless they're trying to save money for a bigger move down the line, and they're saying, all right, we need to cut some cap space, so we need to get a Randall because we got something bigger coming. Then maybe, but they don't need to because the King of New York signed a team friendly deal extension. Mikal Bridges, all the rumors are that he's going to sign a team friendly deal. An extension, and there's been rumors that in the next few weeks we might hear that Randall might even be, or maybe by the new season might be doing an extension, which would be also team friendly. So yeah, I think that's someone just trying to put like the Julius Randle stuff out there. I think that's all it is.
That was Lake Show Yo.
What's that?
Lake Show Yo put together that mock trade for sure.
Great, yeah. We'll see what happens. I mean, it would allow a little bit of cap room for the Hawks if they trade them. But I mean, yeah, who knows if that's legit or what that is? Because now, who knows what any rumors are legit, man? Because it just seems like people are just using them to really inflate that paycheck, right? To actually pay the person that they really want. So we don't even know anymore. Back in the day, rumors used to be a little bit more true, but the percentage I think has gone down a little bit. And speaking of rumors that came to fruition and also came out of nowhere. Let's talk about Russell Westbrook, traded from the Clippers to the Jazz, will end up a Nugget. This is fascinating to me. Rob, I want you to go first on this, my dude. Russell Westbrook, eventually going to be on the Nuggets. What are your thoughts? Big sigh. Okay. Get ready for it.
I think they're just trying to salvage their offseason after losing KCP, but that's a very desperate move to go for Russ. I mean, he went to both LA teams, didn't move the needle for either of them. Actually, he made the Lakers worse. That was arguably the start of their downfall when they traded all those pieces to get Russ. And now it's been, 2 or 3 years? Now he's going to go to the Nuggets. I don't really like the move. I think losing KCP was huge. And now they've lost Reggie Jackson. They've lost KCP. They lost Bruce Brown. So I think this was just a desperate move to try to shore up the bench. But I don't think it's going to work out for them.
Like
It's going to make them easier to guard, if anything, because he can't shoot.
No, he has his day in the sun every once in a while, like every 3-4 months. Wudi.
I love Russ. There was a time where he was my favorite player in the league, so I've a loyalty. But remember, open heart surgery, remove my heart from the equation. I think this move was more a Reggie Jackson replacement than KCP. You know, with KCP, right, 3-and-D guard, somebody who can really make an impact on your opposing team's best player, and that's what he was doing in the playoffs. Russ is not even going to come close to filling that role. Reggie Jackson comes off the bench. Most games, you know, he's going to shoot 4 for 8, 4 for 9, you know, but then there's those some games where he's 8 for 11, you know, and now he has 21, 6 and 5, and you're like, damn, like this guy just came off the bench and torched us. I think that is the exact role that Russ is about to fill. Most games, you know, he's gonna have 6, 6, and 6, you know, but some games he's gonna have 21, 14, and 9. That's Russ is still capable of having a game like that, and specifically in the rebounding and playmaking, I think that's really big because the Nuggets. They have a lot of rebounders. They can rebound 1 through 5. But the playmaking, you know, if we ask Michael Porter Jr. to simply pass the rock, he's going to turn into John Tay Porter and plead the fifth. Like he's not going to do it. He's not going to do it. You know, Aaron Gordon, I wouldn't say he's a playmaker. You know, so this is somebody who can keep the ball moving, keep guys involved off the bench. I think it is a good move, but to Rob's point, they're probably still in the red, right? They've lost more than they've gained, but I do think Russ is a good gain, especially for off-the-bench production.
Last but certainly not least, Gene, the opinionated Fitzmagic.
Yeah, it's a horrible move. What has Russ ever done in this league other than just put up his own other than personal stats? What has he ever done? Every time I see him, it's a triple doubles galore, right? But he doesn't win. He's been on how many different teams? Never wins. He's OKC. They didn't win. Houston,
he's been to the NBA Finals.
That's not. But he didn't win it. And he went what once?
What do you so nobody has value. So why trade for Luka
15 years ago?
He hasn't won. What is Luka won? Like what are you talking about?
Luka hasn't won either.
So Luka's
already
like, what do you mean? So that he's a bad signing?
I wouldn't say he's trash, but like, come on. Luka, win something first. Then you can complain to the refs. But listen, Russ went to the finals, 15 years ago? 15 years ago. And they lost. He hasn't sniffed it since. And where's he been? He's been OKC, Houston, Washington, both LA teams. Has he stopped somewhere in between? I forget. He's been all over the map. Hasn't won anything. I think Denver was actually my favorite to win the championship until they added this guy because I think he's a clown.
Hard stop, eh? See, I knew as soon as I introduced you with like the opinionated, I knew that was going to happen. You came out hot out the gates and finished with a real cold, he's a clown, and then just walked away from it.
He's a clown. I do want to say one other thing too, because I know a lot of people watch us on X and not as many come on YouTube. But you know what? You can join everything else if you come on YouTube. So guys, come over to YouTube, hit the script, hit what do you say? All the things, Nigel?
Yeah,
the likes,
the
subscribes, all that stuff.
That's it.
I feel like, come over to YouTube. X is great, but it's hard for me to keep up with X because I don't really use X, but I know how to use YouTube. So come over here and hang out with us, guys. Everyone watches us on X.
I do like to I want to agree. Speaking about YouTube, I'm gonna agree with the comments. A clown is Ben Simmons. Russell
Yeah, no,
Westbrook
he's
is literally a first ballot Hall of Famer. Has he won? No. I mean, there's quite a few people who just have not won. But I think he does have value. Ben does not have value. He does not. But I think Russ.
Yeah, but we know that. We know what Ben is. I'm tired of putting Russ on this pedestal. Like finally, like he has to win eventually, man. And I know Ben didn't either, but Ben's not the same player. Russ was a good player. How come he can't win anywhere? There's got to be something. There's got to be something off. And I don't mean to cut you off, Wudi. I apologize, but how is he gonna? He's proven to be a great player. Ben Simmons has not, so I can't even equate him with Ben Simmons. Russ is a great player, but how come he never wins? There's a disconnect. There's a disconnect.
Yeah, I mean, I think some people need a. I know this is gonna sound stupid, so I don't even want to say it, but I already started, so I might as well finish. Some people need a specific roster, like a type of roster. Like he's never had a roster that fits him. I think the OKC, like the KD, they could have won. KD, Russ, OKC.
If they would have kept that together, I think they could have won. But that wasn't just him. That was having Harden with him and an early Harden. Harden turned out to be something else.
No, but even after Harden left, like when KD went to the Warriors,
okay, I agree.
They were one win away, right? They were up, weren't they up like 3-1 against the Warriors in the Western Conference Final? Like that was a team that could have made it. I think if they just stayed together and just moved pieces around them, they would have been champions. But without KD and then Russ, I feel like he was never really given the reins. He was just taking them. It doesn't work like that.
I gotta. Rosdell says if Russ was a backup point guard for the Knicks, we would all co-sign it. Keep Russ away from the Garden, please. Keep Russ. I wouldn't co-sign it. James, Wudi, would you be cool with that move? You'd hate it too. Admit it, you'd hate it.
I'm not gonna lie. I love, like I just said, he was my favorite player in the league. MVP Russ. I was out here. I had the pom poms. Let's go, Russ. If he was on the New York Knicks, it's not a good fit for what the Knicks are trying to do right now. It's not.
And Sean Browning, I appreciate the Karl Malone reference, but his name's Carl with a K. So. Do better, Sean.
We got Spicy Gene in the room today. Spicy G with the takes. This is what's happening. Okay, look, we know the Olympics is right around the corner. We know that. We've seen what everybody's wearing because, like, my IG has been lighting up with what are athletes wearing on the track or in the ceremonies. But let's talk about the athlete that is not going to be wearing nothing except flinging some money around. Let's talk about Mr. Kawhi Leonard, the championship-winning Kawhi Leonard. He withdraws from Team USA. What actually happened? From what we've heard, he's got to make sure his body's right. They want to make sure he's focused on next season. And then you see him flinging rocks, flinging some money at the strip club. I mean, listen, I'm just saying, if you've been on the socials, you've seen it. Wudi, tell them what it is. What happened?
I mean, I was trying to talk about, how Kawhi plays on the hardwood. Now you bringing up a different type of hardwood. I don't know. I'm saying, this is what I'm going to say. Kawhi Leonard, his legacy, man. I mean, he has to have what he probably has the most polarizing legacy, perhaps of all time, right? Because there are those out there, spectacular talent. The first man, I believe, I don't think he was the first, but he is one of the few to win Finals MVP on two different teams. He on a Western Conference team, on an Eastern Conference team, he's done that thing. He's did that dance. But my man's is playing 40 games per year. And, like, he has to be, at this point, one of the most prolific quitters. Like, literally just quitting on the team that I've ever seen. He quit on every team he's been on. And now so why did you join Team USA? You joined the squad just to quit on them too. You showed up, and it was so funny because everyone was like, oh, he's using his suitcase as a crutch. And I was like, they play with him. But maybe he was. Like, what's up with this man's like muscles, man? What's up with his muscles? Torn? I don't know. But I think the Clippers, to Gene's point, the Clippers were fools for still making him the centerpiece of their future. Because the man, he's the most unreliable, maybe pro athlete. Maybe that's over dramatic. Let's stick to basketball. He's the most unreliable basketball player on planet Earth right now. I love that now when I just don't want to make plans with somebody, I can just send them a picture of Kawhi Leonard and they know, okay, Wudi's not coming because it's an embarrassment. I respect his ability as a player, but as a man, he's a quitter.
Now let's address this, Raza. We know that the Clippers front office had made the call. We know that that's the official statement came out on their end, saying that Kawhi's out. We haven't heard from Kawhi, so we don't know his side of the story. At least I haven't read anything or heard anything. So that just kind of it's up in the air. Who really knows? Who really knows what the official business is? Obviously, this is all kind of speculation in here, saying whatnot. I just want to let you guys know what. The way that man affected the city of Toronto and the country of Canada, he could have hear me out though. Hear me out. He could have not only eaten anywhere for free, but he would have been given anything and everything for free. We appreciated his style. We appreciated his candor. We appreciated his athleticism so much, so greatly that there were the campaigns. People were making stickers and there was unified all over. All we wanted you to do was stay another couple years, man. Not even if we didn't even have to win a back-to-back. Who knows if we would have or not. But the point is the appreciation was there. The love was there. Now we understand why he moved back. He wanted to move back closer to home and whatnot and whatever. The money, obviously, it just would have been nice. No, you know what, Raza? Yeah, it is Canada, though. Okay, it is Canada, though. But we appreciate and we love. All right, we appreciate and we love. Rob, let me know your thoughts, my man.
I mean, I'm not surprised. Kawhi is, in the last 5 years, how many times has he actually played in the playoffs? Once.
Yeah.
2020, he blew a 3-1 lead to the Nuggets. 2021, he was injured. 2022, he was probably injured. This year he was injured. Last year he was injured. Like, he never actually plays. Yeah, it was the Clippers front office decision. I'm surprised that they even let him join the team to begin with. I'm surprised he even made it that far, but I'm not surprised that they removed him at all.
Fair. Yeah. Who's left? Gene?
Yeah, see, here's the problem. He was okay with being on Team USA until they expected him. They told him they expect him to play. And he was like, oh, wait a second. I don't play basketball. I sit on the bench. I just put on the jersey for like photos and shit. I don't play basketball. That was the problem. The minute they expected him to play, is when he backed out. And I really do think that it's the front office covering for him. I really do. Because it would be in his contract that he couldn't play. If it really was like, oh, wait, you're not allowed to play. Otherwise, he could tell the front office, no, I want to play. I want to represent my country. They can't tell him yes or no unless it's in his contract. Other than that, he could say, kick rocks. I'm playing if I want. I would think that, and Rob can testify to this because I say it all the time. Rob, what do I always say? I don't want any Knicks playing on Team USA because I don't really care about Team USA. I want my Knicks to win a title before any of these guys win gold medals. Do I not, Rob? Do I not say that? Haven't I said that to you a million times? So, my thing is this. I think most front offices would say, I'd prefer you not to play, so please don't play. Like, I think they would try to get them out of playing as much as they could. Do you think they want a 39-year-old LeBron James? The Lakers want a 39-year-old LeBron James going and playing for his country right now? Like, yeah, it's great. Win a gold medal, USA, yeah, rah, rah. But we're in the business of making money. We're in the business of winning championships. That's not professional. That's not the professional sports that we make money on. I wouldn't worry about that, me personally. So I really do think it's them just covering for him, saying, "Oh no, he can play if he wants." We decided we don't want to play. He's not quitting again. He's not a quitter again on his country now. No, we said we don't want to play. I think it's just them covering for him and saying, hey, listen, we're going to cover for you, but you got to make sure you're good for us next year. We've covered for you all these other times. We've given you the bag again, and you've played hardly any games for us. We'll cover again. We'll cover for you again. And there we go. But I'm not surprised that he quit on them because that's what he is. I get Canada loving him because, before he got to Toronto, we weren't, the Raptors, weren't really. I think we used to. I think
Hey, watch your words because we were fine. It was a risk. We took a big risk. We were doing great.
You guys would have been great in the G League. You guys would have been awesome in the G League.
Lowry DeRozan was doing. They were.
I'm only joking. No, I'm playing. But no, but you know what? I really do think that he just didn't want to play. I think he just looked at it like, you know what? I don't want it. It's too much. I'd rather not. And I think the team covered for him. Would I call him a clown like Russ? No. I think I'd call him a mutt. I'd call him a mutt. I'd call him a mutt.
Guy, just vicious.
And next time he bends down on the court, look closely.
Why?
You'll see a thong above those.
Okay. You know what? We're gonna move this thing right along because you know what? Some athletes. Really...
I'm gonna change my name, my handle to Kawhi Leonard's G-string.
Oh my God!
Don't do that. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. No, Rob, don't encourage him. Please don't. So, I would say some athletes, though, I'm going to push back a little bit, really hold a gold medal or an Olympic status in high regards because this is another level of professionalism. Because now, again, we all know in that world, you're now not only playing against the best of the best, but the best in the world at that one particular sport. So, I mean, I can't speak for anybody else, but I know that it would be an honor. I would love to, if I was in any kind of athletic capacity, to play for my team and especially going in knowing that there's a gold right around the corner. We just got to get through these, 10 days, 2 weeks, whatever the time frame is. But hey, to each their own. But we can also talk about a little Jaylen Brown. Now, this is a little bit of drama here. Jaylen Brown allegedly salty that Derek White was chosen to replace Kawhi. How are we feeling about that? Let's go to Rob. Rob, you're the Celtics fan, you said, right? Let's talk about that.
I mean, I don't blame him. I think he was the most obvious choice when they announced that Kawhi wasn't going to play. It was either between Jaylen or Kyrie. Neither of them got picked, which is interesting because they both have the little beef with Nike. So that definitely tied into it. And then they go with Derek White instead. I don't blame him. I don't blame him for being a little salty, but I don't really think he cares that much. I mean, he got the most important thing.
Yep, that's what we're talking about. And you might as well go to Gene because Gene thinks that that Larry OB is the most important thing. So let's talk about that. What do you think about this little beef?
Yeah, I think it was just. Like Rob said, I think it was more of a spat at Nike than anything else. With all the rumors of stuff with Nike behind the scenes with Team USA. I mean, Derek White's a nice player. There's better players to put on that team than Derek White. I mean, he's a good player, but and Jaylen Brown should have been the guy. Jaylen Brown's the best player on his team. The fact that Tatum's there and not Jaylen Brown is a joke to me. I don't understand why it wasn't Jaylen Brown. I think he was actually the logical choice, to put there. So I don't think he's necessarily really upset. I think it was more of just because I don't think, Jaylen Brown's a good guy. I think he's a team guy. I don't think he's going to start beef with one of his teammates. I think it was more like just tongue in cheek, kind of like, oh yeah, blah, 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 whatever. I think it was more like just tongue in cheek. I don't think it was anything really serious on his end. I think we blew it up more at a proportion than it really was. I believe they've already even discussed it and talked, behind the scenes, and they're good. So if they're good, we should all be good too. I don't think it's anything serious.
What do you think? What do you think this is serious?
I don't think it's serious. I just think it's odd because Kawhi Leonard, is like a 6'7", forward, to replace him with a 6'4" guard, who does not at all really mimic his skill set. Like from what they've lost, it's another one of those what they lost versus what they gained. I think Jaylen Brown can do more things closer to Kawhi to help fill the hole that because a team without Kawhi, a team losing Kawhi, we've seen it, right? We've seen that happen the last 6 years because he doesn't play. That's a massive hole to fill, and I don't think Derek White is an appropriate. Wow. Okay, let me back up. Appropriate fix to what they've lost, because I was about to talk about holes, but yes. So there it is. I think Jaylen Brown would have done a better job to cover the gaps that was created by Kawhi's absence. But I guess it is what it is. And I'm not gonna lie, with Anthony Edwards playing how he's playing, it might not even matter.
And since the team is locked and loaded, and the Olympics is officially a week from today, day 0 starts today. They start officially with the ceremonies the next Friday, but I know they start like on Wednesday with a couple other events that take a little longer to go through. But day 1 or day 0, the opening ceremonies officially start next Friday, and the United States of America ball team has been undefeated in exhibition play. So does that mean now, with the gaps all covered and everybody's logged in and they're just chilling in their room, does that mean that they're going to go on and win this coveted gold? Are they just going to cruise their way to the gold, Wudi?
I don't think cruise. I think we look at the names, LeBron, KD, Steph. We look at those names and we get a little too excited. Based on what I've seen from the exhibition play, I've seen all the minutes of the exhibition so far. I haven't, loved everything that I've seen. Of course, KD hasn't played, so that's a big thing. And he has actually been the leader of the team every year that he's been on Team USA. I mean, he's a leading scorer, so that's definitely a big loss. But Joel Embiid, get that man out the starting lineup, man. Like his style is completely tailored to the NBA of foul baiting, getting that call. Now he just looks like an idiot because he's just flopping, not getting the call, not getting the bucket. And then on the other end, he's not making the defensive play, but my boy fouled out in 12 minutes. He's got 12 minutes of play. My man's fouling out. Meanwhile, Anthony Davis is actually built perfectly for the Olympic style because he is quick. He can move like a guard, but he has the strength and size of a big. I mean, I think the last exhibition game, he had 16 and 14 with 5 blocks. I mean, that is the anchor that you need on Team USA. So if I'm Steve Kerr, I got to look myself in the mirror and just say, hey, name recognition is one thing, but if we're trying to win the gold, right? None of that name recognition is going to matter if they get anything less than gold. They need to change the lineups. All right. I think they're too much saying, oh, you have a big name, we're going to put you there. Anthony Davis needs to be moved up. Anthony Edwards needs to be moved up. The man leading the team in scoring, coming off the bench. I mean, that's another thing in this Olympic styles. Like, what you said about LeBron, right? 39-year-old LeBron. He's not trying to get hurt. He's just trying to have fun. Anthony Edwards couldn't be hungrier, right? He has nothing to lose. If he gets hurt, he's 22. He'll come back, he'll be 23. Like, it don't matter. He is a dog. And that fearlessness, you might see that next legendary Vince Carter dunk, where he dunked over Frederick Weiss in 2000, right? The most legendary dunk I've ever seen on a court. Anthony Edwards has the skill set to do that right now, and he has that type of fearlessness. So will they cruise? I don't think so, because I think Steve Kerr is not doing the right lineups. But should they still win? Yeah, hopefully.
Also, former Raptor. Gene, thoughts? Team USA in the Olympics. What's up?
I think I don't think they'll cruise, but I think there's some good teams out there. France is got some players. Yeah, I don't think Canada is. I know that we shouldn't probably have to worry about Canada, but Canada's got some good players there. You guys got some good players there.
Yeah, but it was the words before that. It's like we shouldn't worry about.
I'm just playing. Wait, can I just say one thing? Razel, the great. He makes a good point. He's like, I can't run into the street and flex on my peoples about winning a Olympic gold medal. I agree.
It's because we live in the same country. What are you talking about?
Also,
you would be flexing to your own countrymen about the same shared accomplishment.
He goes, Cooper Flagg is better than Derek White. I love it. Love it. But, all right, I think they're gonna win. I think that's fine. But I do want to pose one thing because I just want to get your opinion on it because I know we discussed it already. But like, I just need to make sure. Like, you got your favorite team. Nigel, it's the Raptors. Me and Wudi, it's the Knicks. Although sometimes Wudi roots against his own teams, we know that. And Rob, it's the Celtics. Would you rather win the Larry O'Brien Trophy or a gold medal? Honestly. Would you rather, Nigel, would you rather Toronto win the chip next year, or would you rather Canada win a gold medal?
You know, man, you're a jerk. You know that?
What I'm saying, it's
listen, I'm trying not to be diplomatic about it. I'm trying not to say like, both for different reasons, because that's really how I feel. But if it comes to it, yeah, you know what? Maybe the Olympic gold,
Wow.
because for us, or for me as a Canadian, it's the unified effort that brought home this medal and beat the statuses of US and France and all these other countries. You know what I mean? That for me would be a big deal. And it would be coveted. Like, people would really lose their minds over here.
I could see that actually. It'd almost be like when the USA beat Russia in the 80s.
Right,
Like
exactly.
in hockey. I get that. I get that to an extent. We're like big bad USA. I get it.
Yeah.
But these other two guys have no excuse. Rob and Moody have no excuse. It's got to be the Larry O'Brien.
From the couch, yeah. I mean, obviously, I root for the Knicks every day. So to have that culminate into something as opposed to Team USA, which only comes, once every 4 years. Yeah, as a fan from the couch, luckily, I have no impact on the scenario. As a player, somebody who grew up playing basketball, this is their passion, this is their talent, this is their skill. You're one of however many people drafted into the NBA versus being one of the 12 on the US team and going and competing against the world, seeing the grand stage. I mean, that's a whole different experience, a very unique experience. And I know Rozelle was roasting Melo because Melo has he's actually the most prolific gold medalist in U.S. men's basketball history. No one's won more than him, and he has 0 NBA championships. So of course he's gonna hype us up on the gold medal, man.
Who is that coming though? You know what I mean? Like out of all the players, that was the guy to win like 4 goals and 0 NBA championships after going back to back at Syracuse.
I think he won. I think he won and done.
Like he was the one and done guy,
right?
And then won.
Yeah. Crazy.
So he's literally won at every level besides the NBA. But I think as a player, yeah, I think the gold means a whole lot. You're definitely underselling the value of, or the experience rather, of being one of the 12 to represent the country, go in the world stage, compete and win. Like you're definitely underselling it.
For sure. I think the gold medal means more for international players, to be honest. Because if you're on the US team, like, you're expected to win. Like,
yeah,
as soon as you're on the team, you're expected to win a gold medal. So it doesn't mean as much for, like, say France wins. That would mean way more for Victor Wembanyama than it would for a US player to win.
I agree with that. Well, that's kind of what Nigel was saying with Canada, like, the big bad beating the big bad US. I get that.
Yeah, for sure. But listen, we can talk about this more, and we'll definitely see it next week. Next Saturday is all the basketball prelims. There's like 4 matches going on all throughout the day. So next weekend, go on and watch it. Gene obviously has 0 interest, and that is fine. Listen, we're gonna stay here in the
maybe women's gymnastics. That's about it.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. Thank you for getting through this. We're going through the mud with Gene's attitude today, and we are loving it. We are on board. He's coming in hot. This is the Pop Off. Don't forget, this is the Morning Brew Sports Network. So please like, share, subscribe, do all the things. Comment. We want this gets us fired up. When you comment and we got more stuff to talk about, things that we didn't think of, we appreciate it. But we're gonna stay in the Olympics, like I said, and we're gonna talk about the women's USA team versus the WNBA All-Stars. Now that it was announced And now it is tomorrow, July 20th. And can Caitlin Clark, and I just got a notification that Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese were practicing together. Are they going to beat Team USA? Rob, I am interested to hear from you, my man. Are the WNBA All-Stars going to beat Team USA?
Absolutely not. I mean, the USA team is stacked. I mean, that basically would be the WNBA All-Stars if they weren't on the Olympic team.
Right.
So the All-Star team is nice. They got some nice players, but I don't think it's going to be a close game at all.
You know, it's wild because you're right. You make a very good point. Yes, it would be all the All-Stars if they weren't playing the Olympics. And this is just another, like their whole season, this whole 2024 season has been about, you know, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese to an extent, and Reese making the records. And then it's just so much more. It just becomes this juggernaut. It just keeps moving and keeps evolving. And the storylines are just they keep intriguing me, and I keep staying on board with it, which I want to, but it's just like the storylines are crazy. Wudi, talk to me about this. Do you think the WNBA All-Stars are going in? What do you think about the WNBA All-Star team?
You know, if I was in charge of marketing for that league, every single dollar would have been put on advertising this game. You know, like it's a storyline that writes itself. Look at those two players. They have carried women's basketball for the last how many seasons now in the NCAA. They are pros, both of them, breaking records. Most assists in a game for Caitlin. Most consecutive double-doubles for Angel Reese. Triple-double for Caitlin. They are breaking records, and neither of them have been chosen to be on the USA women's basketball team. And now they get to team up, right? These two players that have been so intertwined, the media pits them as foes. They have never said a cross word about each other to the media, despite somehow everyone thinking that, you know, there's some bad blood. Now they get to team up and work together to try to avenge a perceived wrong against them by not being selected to this team. I mean, if you're a fan of life, like that is a storyline that writes itself. I don't understand how we have to dig. We have to find out. I don't even know what network that's on. You said it's tomorrow, July 20th. NBC, ESPN. I don't know. But the WNBA All-Stars surely have a chance. Hell hath no fury like the wrath of a woman scorned, and they got 12 of them over there that have all just felt the disrespect. I am so excited. You know, I haven't seen too many games. I've seen a couple Liberty games, a couple Fever games, but this is a game where I definitely got to see what's going on, and I'm definitely excited to see Caitlin and Angel work together with Aaliyah Boston, who's Caitlin's teammate, who just had her career high 28 points. I think this is just, it's going to be a fantastic contest. And shout out to Sierra in the chat. All right, I didn't know if you had COVID or something, but we had you in the chat for quite a few episodes. We've enjoyed your presence. You were gone, but now you're back, just like we're back. So I just wanted to give a special shout out. Welcome back.
She's back. Gene, give us that take.
Yeah, first off, I want to agree with Rozelle the Great again. Sabrina Ionescu is better than Caitlin Clark, so I agree. She's the best white girl in the league. You know, we want to put it like Caitlin Clark's the Great White Hope. She's already been here. It's Sabrina Ionescu. Caitlin Clark, she's all right, I guess. She's Christian Laettner to me. But anyway, come on. This is even like it's like Rob said, and Wudi alluded to. All the good players are on Team USA. And this is like the backup match, right? It's the backup match of All Stars. None of these girls would have been on the All Star team had Team USA not chosen them. I mean, maybe Caitlin Clark would have gotten voted. I don't even know how they picked. Do they vote? I don't even know. I think I like Angel Reese a lot. I think she's fantastic. She's probably her and Sabrina are my favorite players in the league. But yeah, I don't even think it's a contest. Now, Woody's right. Did they miss a marketing opportunity with this? Hell yeah, because it's something that they would have marketed and they still would have gotten blown out like 98 to 55. You know what I'm saying? But you still market it up until that point, right? So I agree that they should have marketed it, but I also agree that this is like, who cares? Like the game's going to happen. And by the time it's over, we'll talk about it for the day that it was a blowout, and then we'll never talk about it again.
Well, some people might, but you know what? The lovely people at Phoenix, Arizona, they are going to be hosting the game. It is 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. PT. I know the channel that's on up here, so y'all need to do some work and figure out where it is in the States. But it's going to be on, and I'm definitely going to be watching. If I'm not playing,
it's tomorrow. We said, right?
Yeah, it's tomorrow. Yeah.
I got stuff to do.
Okay, all right, settle down. You know what? We're gonna move right along to one of our favorite times of the year. We are like a month and change away, man. We're so close, and I'm talking about the end. The No Fun League is right around the corner, and we are going to jump into it. We're going to talk about divisions, though. So throughout the weeks, until we get up to preseason, until we get into the good stuff, we're going to break down divisions for you, talk about players, talk about coaches, talk about defenses, offenses, all that good stuff. Special teams, the kickers have their own pod. They'll just have one pod, just the kickers. But let's talk about, that's not true for anybody who thinks
I was like, wait a second. I don't remember.
What?
We discussed this?
We're going to jump in, and we're going to talk about the AFC South. Today, we're talking about the AFC South. The first thing we're going to do is we are going to rank the QBs 1 through 4. If you want to put a little bit of preamble on that, or if you want to, justify your choice, which Gene probably will, because that's just the way he rolls, then we will do that. So, Wudi, let's start with you first. Let's talk about the AFC South, specifically rank your quarterbacks.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a division that has been asked for so long. But last year they kind of showed that things might be looking up. And I think all 4 teams actually got much better in the offseason, either with a good free agency or a good draft, or if we're talking about the Houston Texans, both. There's, oh my God, AFC South is actually going to be a competitive division. For the quarterbacks, unpopular opinion alert.
Boy.
Number 1, or should I go reverse? No, I'll go reverse.
Okay.
Guys, wait. Number 4, I'll go with Will Levis, the Mayo Man. Had his girl.
Wait. That nickname's not official, right? Like you just dropped that right now, because the mailman is very funny to me. It's disgusting.
What was it? He put his coffee. Was that the? What was that?
Yeah. He puts mayo in his coffee, and
mayo is disgusting.
Yeah. Anyways, continue. Sorry, the mailman. That's really funny.
No. Yeah. So he is indeed the Mayo Man. I just think there's a reason why he's the only person on this list that is not a first round quarterback. And for good reason. I don't think he's bad, but I just don't think he can ascend into the elite. Like, I think the other 3 actually have that type of potential to be a top 10 QB. So Levis, number 4. Number 3, give me Anthony Richardson, who very well could climb up this list. But the boy played 3 games last year. So, we're going to have to see. But when he did play, they looked very, very good. That's the issue. That's why it's kind of hard to say. But, what he really needs to do is protect his body. He needs to learn that sliding, like every rule in the NFL protects the quarterback. So why are you still getting hurt? Why are you not sliding? Well, come on, bro. I know you're trying to be tough. You can be tough. Josh Allen is tough, but he slides. Josh Allen slides. So Anthony Richardson, if he can stay healthy, I'm almost certain that he will climb up this list. But because I don't know what's going on, I got to put him 3rd. But great arm, great on the legs. Number 2, give me CJ Stroud. Okay, I know numbers wise, there might not be a comparison, but when you look at the situations, I think numbers almost never tell the whole story. CJ was put in a very favorable position with his receivers, with that Shanahan descendant offense run by Bobby Slovic. I think he is a great talent, but surrounded in a great environment. Trevor Lawrence is a prototypical talent that is still washing off the stank of Urban Meyer. I know Doug Peterson is there, and they've had some work that they've done. I think he is the guy, and I think that now he got paid. They know what's going on. They just drafted a receiver for him, and Brian Thomas Jr. from LSU. I think we're going to see quite clearly that Trevor is better than the rest. So that is my 4: Trevor, Stroud, Richardson, Levis.
Love it. And again, shout out to Sierra in the chat, just coming in with hot take after hot take. We did see it before, but I will announce it just officially so everybody if you didn't see the chat or if you didn't know. So Sierra put in number 1, Anthony Richardson, then number 2, CJ Stroud, 3, Will Levis, and 4, Trevor Lawrence. And also, you are not wrong, Sierra. First round pick does not mean anything nowadays. Like it's I mean, sometimes it's a shoo-in, but a lot of times we're finding out later rounds, people doing their homework and doing the research and finding out what is up, and then going in the long haul and getting a real prolific player.
She knows that Brock Purdy is not a top 10 QB. She knows that. She
100%. Yo, Gene, give it to us, man. Let's take it home. Let's go.
Woody, did we just become best friends?
I hate this so much.
Number 4. Shout outs to Gia Duddy for getting off that sinking ship, Will Levis. Richardson, again, for the same reasons that you mentioned, Woody. We just haven't seen enough, but what we've seen looks good. CJ Stroud at number 2. And the reason why he's not number 1 yet, because I need to see more. He had a great first year, but who also had a great first year and was out of the league within a few years? RG3. We just need to see him maintain it and have some longevity. And Sierra, girl, I feel like every week we bump heads, Sierra. I love you because you're always here. You're one of our favorite viewers, listeners, everything, all the stuff. But Lawrence is not only one of the best quarterbacks in the league, he's the best in the division. That's not even. I'm not even a Jags fan or a Lawrence fan. But yeah, I mean, listen, the contract. Forget about the contract. I'm just talking about pure talent. What they're worth on the contract, I'm not even taking that into account. I'm just talking about the player on the field. Lawrence is definitely number 1 for me.
Rob, let's hear from you, my man.
Pretty much the same. Levis number 4, Richardson number 3. It sucks that he got injured early last season because he did have a really good start, like Woody said, but couldn't see too much of him down the stretch. Well, we didn't see any of him down the stretch, but and then I think I have Lawrence number 2, and I think Stroud is number 1. You guys did point out a very good point. Made a very good point that CJ Stroud, he has a better supporting cast around him, but I don't really think you can't really hold that against him. That's just what he's been given, and I don't think anything happened this offseason that's going to change that. If anything, now his supporting cast is even better, so I think he's going to have an even better year. I think he might be a top 5 quarterback next year in the NFL.
Woo! Hot take. I love it. Let's write it down. You heard it here. You heard it here. So, Rob, we will definitely make sure to have you.
He was in MVP discussions last year. I mean, I know you guys, the reaction, but he was in MVP discussions before he got injured.
Can we pipe down about CJ Stroud? He's had one. I'm that crazy about it, but he's had 1 season. I get we all love what CJ Stroud did last year. I get it. But again, what did we think when RG3 had his Rookie of the Year campaign? We thought he was the next great quarterback. He was going to be, and he lasted 2-3 years max, and then he just bounced around from team to team.
Well, it's kind of different because his style of play, he was a runner, so he got injured.
Fair enough, but I need to see more. I need to see more CJ Stroud. I need to see him do there's a lot of quarterbacks that are great that first year because teams don't know how to really play against them. I need to see more. Listen, we thought Carson Wentz was great the first year, right? He looked really good at one point, and then I don't even. What is he? He's on LA now. Wentz is a joke. I'm not saying Stroud is going to be a joke, I just need to see more of Stroud. To anoint him as a top 5 quarterback is dangerous.
Hey, man,
And
let Rob live recklessly. Let him live, man. Let him live. All right. Listen,
Fair
I'm
enough.
with you, Rob. I like what you're saying. I like what you're thinking here. Let's see. What Sierra, you know what's funny? Purdy did this. Purdy did more than Stroud as a rookie and gets 0 credit. Wudi. We're gonna move on. Because
wait. Purdy went
got
a
the
couple
best
of games down the
situation in the
stretch,
NFL, though.
and he has the best situation in the NFL. You put Purdy on like 95% of the other teams, he's not even starting. He might not even be on the team.
I promise you that if Sierra was a starting QB on San Fran, they are making it to the NFC Championship. They are.
And I'll tell you what. They want him. The reason why they kept him is because he was so much cheaper. Sam Darnold didn't get a fair shake in San Francisco. Sam Darnold would have been comeback player of the year last year had they just started him from day one. Am I wrong, Wudi?
The math.
Sam Darnold would have been comeback player of the year, and they jerked him around and benched him because they knew the other kid was cheaper. Anybody, if listen, Purdy could do it. Sam Darnold could have did it.
That's true. That's true.
Cool. We'll put that on a T-shirt for you. Listen, if anybody cares,
please someone send me a Vikings Darnold jersey. I'll wear that proudly.
Well, he's about to be comeback player of the year. Well, actually, Rodgers is going to be comeback player of the year.
Well,
Sam, trust me, he's going to be throwing to Jettas on the Vikings. They're going to be a fantastic duo.
I agree.
All right, my list very quickly is I'll go 4-1. Will Levis, Trevor Lawrence, Anthony Richardson, CJ Stroud. So we're all very much close. Yeah, man, it is what it is. I think in a different way, in a different manner. Love Stroud, loved what he did. It's a big leap. I'm just hoping for good things next season. Yeah, he's one player I want to see more of. But what I did see, loved it. Trevor Lawrence, we know what he is. He's getting better now because he should be getting better now because he's got a couple weapons in that rookie. That's really the namesake. That's really going to be a big deal. Well, Levis, he is what he is. But let's talk about the defenses because defense is what wins championships, and maybe it'll take these guys to the top of the AFC South. Let's rank them. Gene, I wanted you to go first. Defenses in the AFC South.
I'm going to start at number 1. Just because the last 2 teams are so ho-hum. I'm going to go DeMeco Ryans and the Texans. He really brought a winning defensive pedigree to the Texans. They've made some upgrades even this offseason. I love the moves they made this offseason to shore up that defense. They added Daniil Hunter. They were decent last year. I think they're even better this year. They're going to be, I think, a top 10 defense this year. I don't know where they finished last year. Wudi, you probably know offhand, but I don't know where they finished last year. But I think they're a top 10 defense this year.
They were in the top half, but I think they were like 12 or 13.
I think they jump up into top 10 this year. Then I do. They were, like I said, they were decent last year. They've added pieces this year, and now another year in the system of DeMeco Ryans. DeMeco Ryans brought some guys from San Francisco this year too, Al Shahir and a couple other guys where they'll be able to kind of help implement that system even more. I think that they're going to be a top 10 team this year on defense. Jags, I don't know if they're a top 10 defense, but they're definitely in the upper half. I think the Jags can be very good this year. And then way back in the distance, the Colts and Titans. Worst thing, we'll get to talk about coaches in a little bit, but Colts and Titans are going to be horrendous on defense this year. Long as the day of Bob Sanders in the defensive backfield for the Colts. That I don't expect them to do anything on defense this year. I actually think defenses are pitiful. Tennessee might be like top or the bottom 2 or 3 defenses in the league. Even with the signing of the great Jamal Adams, El Presidente.
Fair. Rob. Oh, you muted my dude. Nice.
I have Houston number 1. They had a solid defense already last year. Like Gene said, they added some really good pieces. They have a nice system already. So I think with another year of development, they're just going to get even better on that end. The Jaguars, I'll put them at number 2. I think they have a nice front 7. They're probably number 2. And then down at the bottom, Colts and Titans for sure. Titans defense is going to be awful. Like you said.
I feel like we're all gonna have the same list. There's nowhere to go but up when people are just like, you're awful. Like there's nowhere to go, but it's not going to be this season. Wudi, your thoughts?
Well, if that's how you feel, Nigel, will allow me to reinforce that by having the exact same list as everybody else. Texans, Jags, Colts, and Titans. Now, I don't think the Colts defense is that bad. They were actually fairly good last year, which helped because their offense was not prolific whatsoever. It's just that, Gardner Minshew didn't throw turnovers. I don't think people realize how close the Colts were to making the playoffs. Like they were eliminated in week 18. Like that last week was when they were eliminated. They're very close. And that was because their defense didn't allow a lot of points and their offense didn't really score a lot of points. So they either lost 21-17 or won 21-17 every week. So I think and they went defensive heavy in their draft. I actually think the Colts are going to look way better than what we're giving them credit for. Way back. I don't think they're that far back. Texans obviously going to be spectacular. The Jags, the Black Josh Allen, who actually just changed his name. He legally changed his name. He was tired of me calling him the Black Josh Allen. So I believe his name now is Josh Hines Allen. He'll be there. And then, the Titans are going to be pretty bad. Shout out Prez, the most comfortable Jets jersey I have, and I can't even wear it in public without fear of getting attacked. Jamal Adams and the Titans, they are going to be a bad defense.
Please don't do that. We love you on this pod. And shout out to Sierra. Colts are winning the AFC South this season.
Somebody's smoking the la. I don't even know how you can reach that.
The one thing we got to love about Sierra is she's got some hot takes.
Yeah, man, are you kidding me?
He comes in out of nowhere and is definitive. This is what I listen like. She said Sam Darnold is awful. And Sam we trust. He never got a fair shake anywhere.
Yeah. And the ellipses after it, like ... which means she has more thoughts on it, but is too tired to write it. That's what that means. All right, let's keep this thing going. We're in the run out right now. Let's talk about one of the interesting factors why all these teams are going to be good or are going to be bad. What kind of minds, who's leading, who's running these ships. Let's talk about the coaches in the AFC South. We're going to start with you, Wudi. Let's talk about your top 4 or how you rank in the AFC South.
Absolutely. Let's start it with you know what? I'm going to go reverse. Reverse. We're going to do it again. Starting with number 4. This is a coach who I actually am super high on, but because he has never coached a game ever in the NFL, how can I put him against anybody else? I'm going to have to go number 4, Brian Callahan. He has not coached yet, but what I really, really like is that his father, Bill Callahan, was the best offensive line coach in the world. All right. He helped the Cleveland Browns make the playoffs. They were the second most injured team in the NFL on the offensive line, and they still dragged old man Joe Flacco into the playoffs with their ragtag fourth string options on the offensive line. Brian says, "Hey, Dad, I'm a head coach now. Can you help me out?" Yes. Offensive line coach of the Tennessee Titans, Bill Callahan. All right. It's a family business down there. And I like what I've seen from the father. He has his friends down there. Now Brian's calling the shots. I really think that this is a regime that can turn the franchise around. But of course, we haven't seen one game. So I just can't in good faith put him against any of these other coaches. Number 3, give me Shane Steichen of the Colts, who I just said were actually super close to making the playoffs without their top quarterback option. That's something that the Jets could take notes on, how to be even close to doing that without their top. That's what the Jets would be doing. But I digress. The Colts were able to do it. What he's been able to make, something out of nothing. Definitely a good coach. Doug Peterson, number 2. Super Bowl winning Doug Peterson, who also lost his QB on the route to winning the Super Bowl, had to get Nick Foles to win a game against Tom Brady's Patriots, and they were able to do it. He is, in my opinion, a quarterback developer. That's why I thought he was a fantastic choice for Trevor Lawrence. I think he's a fantastic coach, but number one, DeMeco Ryans coming from the Shanahan tree. I mean, that is the most fruitful tree in the NFL. Everybody wants to take a bite, pause. So DeMeco Ryans now in Houston, what he's already done to turn that franchise around in one short season is something that Robert Saleh is still trying to do in 5 seasons. But DeMeco, he has the blueprint. He's shown them how it's done. He's one of the best coaches in the NFL, let alone the AFC South.
Woo, definitive, and that's very detailed. Let's see if Genefitzmagic can match Gene.
I gotta tell you, have we ever agreed more on a show, Wudi? I don't think we ever agree, and every category right now we've agreed on.
Wow.
Yeah, Callahan, because let's face it, just because his father was a decent coach, offensive line coach, doesn't really mean he's going to be that great coach in the NFL. I think the team is so lousy, even if he is a good coach, he'll be out of there within 2 or 3 years. Anyway, listen, Ronnie got drafted 55 because his dad is a Laker. Same reason here. Callahan is in coaching because his dad was a coach. Steichen, I agree. I want to see more of with a healthy Anthony Richardson. Doug Peterson, guy's already won a Super Bowl championship. He's already got a chip. He's got a good team. I think he can get him over the hump. But DeMeco Ryans is the cream of the crop in this division. He's the cream of the crop, I think, in the NFL. I think we're going to see him do some great things. And yeah, you know what? That Shanahan tree has provided some good fruit. Unfortunately, we got the bad apple here in New York. Because I really do think that DeMeco Ryans is a head coach. I hate saying it. I know we're not talking AFC East, but I feel like Saleh is a great defensive coordinator, not a head coach. And I think that's where as much as I'd hate to say DeMeco Ryans is the cream of the crop because Sierra's going to take credit for that, him being a former San Francisco 49er D coordinator, I got to agree. He's the guy. Yeah, so my list is wholeheartedly same as Woody's.
Woo, is the trend going to keep going or is this man going to buck the trend? Rob, what do you got?
Same exact list, not going to lie.
Yeah,
Callahan, I mean, same reason. He hasn't even coached in the NFL yet, so can't have him anywhere but 4th. And he's been put into a horrible situation, so it's going to be tough for him to, hit the ground running. But Shane Steichen, I think he did a great job last year with the Colts as well, so I'll probably put him number 3. Doug Peterson, got to put him number 2, just out of respect for that Super Bowl that he won. He has a really good team as well with the Jaguars, so they're going to try to make the playoffs. And then DeMeco Ryans, he just came in and changed everything for the Texans. I mean, he changed the entire culture there, and now they're probably going to be a contender for years to come, so he's definitely at the top.
You know what's crazy? Is for years we looked at the AFC South as a joke division. And they may be one of the up-and-coming toughest divisions in football, at least with the top 3 teams.
Yeah, and you know what? It's shocking too because it's not. I'm going to use this word, but I'm definitely going to have to define it amongst.
I hope I understand it.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say exciting. That's all I was going to say.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know exciting means.
Exciting, just in a manner that you have these 2 young leaders in Stroud and Richardson. Again, we know we need to see more with Richardson because of the injuries. But then you have this veteran, very loosely because Lawrence has only been in the league 4 or 5 years now. Can't remember how long.
Year 4.
Year 4, yeah.
But
he's making now elite veteran moves and ideas. You can see him doing the field. He's progressively getting better and better. So I'm not saying that this I'm not clamoring to watch the AFC South games. But I'm just saying it's exciting just to see how the pieces are going to move throughout the season and how they're going to match up against teams in the other divisions because I think they'll have a chance. Granted, Tennessee won't, but I think the other teams, they'll have a little bit of a chance here and there. That's how I feel.
Raziel's comment cracks me up. And I'm so jealous of the Texans, man. Picking Watson, that was like 12 overall, CJ Stroud. They never have the top pick, but they out here developing elite quarterbacks. And the Giants definitely year 6, Danny does. But I can't even laugh because the Jets, they either draft the absolute wrong quarterback like they did with Zach Wilson or draft the right one like Sam Darnold and completely waste his development by pairing him up with the 85-year-old Frank Gore. So New York definitely has some notes to take from what's going on in the Houston front office.
To be fair, I don't think it's they picked the wrong quarterback. I think they just have a horrendous quarterback development scheme every time. It's always been a different coaching test, but I think Mark Sanchez showed some promise those first couple of years. And what did they do? Each year they took away weapons, they took away offensive linemen, and by the year 3 he had a shell of a team around him. Zach Wilson never had any weapons.
Zach Wilson never had any weapons
until last year.
Are you serious?
I think he was. I think Garrett
was a rookie.
Wait! I think they destroyed Zach Wilson before Garrett came to town.
How did they destroy? What do you mean? He had Corey Davis.
They babied him. I think they babied him. I think they babied him. I think they babied him. And you even look at Geno Smith. Geno Smith had a lot of issues, character issues, when he got punched in the jaw by one of his teammates because he wouldn't pay him back money. Showed up late to meetings because he was going to movies. And he showed up late to meetings because he was in a movie theater. And what does he do? He gets into another organization, and they develop him. So it wasn't him. It wasn't Geno Smith. It was the Jets. So I really do blame the Jets. And again, how many other teams would have drafted Zach Wilson number 2? Whoever needed a quarterback that had the number 2 pick was going to pick Zach Wilson.
I disagree.
No, you're wrong. Erroneous. Zach Wilson was the second best quarterback in that draft.
He was not.
I mean, not now, but at the time he was.
No, I didn't say he is not. I said he was. He was past participle. He was not. Justin Fields that whole time.
Come on. We still don't even know what Justin Fields is.
Okay, but we know that Zach sucks. Like what is that?
Listen, even San Francisco was saying how if they would have had that pick, they were going to take Zach Wilson, but they traded around. They weren't able to get him, and they got the other kid that's now in Dallas, whatever his name is. I'm blanking out.
Trey Lance.
Trey Lance was also a scrub.
Number 2. He was a small kid school, had some cute highlights.
And a hot mom.
Okay. And then he made some throw at a pro day. And okay. But like
Sierra, you just don't like the Seahawks because you're a 49er fan. I'm sorry, Wudi. He said that Geno Smith hasn't done anything. You're going to tell me he hasn't looked good the last couple of years? He hasn't a way better quarterback than he started out?
Geno.
She's just saying that because she's a 49er fan. The same way I hate on the Bills and the Patriots and
wait. How did we get here? You two were like 2 peas in a pod not more than 45 seconds ago. You're at each other's.
And then he went left. When he could have went right with me, he went left. Woody.
No, honestly, because there will be absolutely no Zach Wilson defense tolerated on this podcast. That boy
it's not a defense, but he was the second best quarterback coming in the draft that year.
He was not the second best.
We will have time.
He was given weapons. He was given more his rookie year than Sam Darnold ever got when he lived in the Empire State, and that's a fact. Zach Wilson was given receivers. He was given the 11th ranked offensive line in football. Look it up. Google it. 2021. Sorry, New York Jets offensive line. Sam Darnold has not had a offensive line above 30th in the league. He had 85-year-old Frank Gore. He had Chosen Anderson, who doesn't even have a real name. And you're going to tell me that Zach Wilson wasn't given weapons the very next year? He was given Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall, 2 offensive rookie of the year candidates. Are you kidding me? You must be something. You must be an ayahuasca.
Say what I do need. I need a bump. Is what I do need.
Go on a darkness retreat.
Keep up with your energy, dude. I need some cocaine to keep up with your energy level. But
listen, Salso, I don't know where you were with that pop off, but you missed that one. Usually, I'm not going to call you out, but you missed that one. That was very random. Listen, okay, Gene, say you need another 30 seconds on this.
I just want to say that Woody's wrong.
Okay, we're gonna move on.
Wait. Was he not the second best quarterback? I'm asking Nigel and I'm asking Rob. Was he not the second best quarterback coming? I'm not saying what has transpired since. I'm saying in that draft class, going into the drafts, was he not the second best prospect going into the draft? Rob?
I would have taken Fields over him. I'm not
Jesus
gonna lie.
Christ.
Even going into
There you
that
go.
draft, I would
There
have
you go.
taken
Case
Justin.
closed.
He said that because he's a Steeler. He's saying that because he's a Steeler now, and he thinks he's going to be his quarterback for like the next 15 years starting next year.
When we talk about the
Even
AFC,
back then, I thought he was going to go top 5 for sure. I'm
when we
surprised he
talk about
slipped.
the AFC,
That's
East,
like Sierra saying, I knew Purdy was going to be better than him too, and Purdy was the last quarterback picked in the draft. I can't take that. I won't take that.
hey, we will have time to debate this when we talk about the AFC East. Then you guys can go deep in the history and the lore of the Jets' bad decisions and even worse quarterbacks. We will do that, but right now we're gonna keep it popping because we only have one segment left. If I'm correct, all we need to do now is just predict the season standings for the AFC South. Very plain, very simple. Give us your 4 through 1 or 1 through 4, however you want to rank it. We're going to start with Rob. This is your prediction for how the AFC South is going to finish. Go ahead, man.
I think the Texans are going to win pretty comfortably. They'll probably lock that division up by like week 15 or so. I think the Jaguars will probably finish number 2, and they're going to threaten for a wild card spot for sure. I think the Colts and the Jaguars are going to be even, I think, for the 2 and the 3 spot. And then the Titans are going to be all the way down near the bottom of the NFL.
Clean and precise. I like it. Wudi.
I think the Titans are getting too much of a bad rap. I really do, because they have a solid offense. I mean, they got Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Hopkins, and I believe Tyler Boyd went there too. That might be the best trio in the NFL, with Tony Pollard down there. Great offensive line coach, opening up holes in that scheme. Will Levis looked good. He had a couple 300-yard games, so he's not, it's not like they got a Zach Wilson down there. I think too many people are sleeping on the Titans, and they're going to be surprised when they have to play them. But they're also not better than these teams, so they're going to be 4th on my list. But I'm just saying, I don't think they're going to be like one of the worst teams in the league. I think all 3 of the next teams could actually finish anywhere from 1, 2, 3, especially because we really don't know what a full season of Anthony Richardson looks like on the Colts. Like,
Hold that thought. Rozelle, thank you, man. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for all your comments and just like jumping in the chats. Really appreciate you. Have a great day at work. Sorry, Woody, continue.
No, absolutely. I better see you next Friday, Rozelle. We gotta hear your takes, definitely. And I would say it's tough because, again, Anthony Richardson, the man, is a wild card. I'm gonna go Colts 3rd just because you don't know, and I feel like the floor for the Jags and the Texans is very high because they have great quarterbacks, they have great coaches. So give me Jags number 2, Texans number 1. So Texans, Jags, Colts, Titans. I think that's actually the exact thing that Rob just said. Yeah,
it was a long journey, but we got there. And last but certainly not least, Gene, the opinionated Fitzmagic.
Yeah, listen, best defense and best coach is going to get you the best results. I really do think so. I got the Texans coming in first. Best quarterback in the division, Jags. Got them coming in second. Colts coming in third, but I don't think that far. I think you're going to see some improvement this year, especially if we get Richardson healthy the full year. And Titans, I think, are competing possibly for a top 5 pick. I think the Titans. I don't think that's a top 3 receiver tandem. I don't. I think it's okay. I think it's okay. I mean, Boyd's all right. Boyd was playing with the 2 top receivers in the best tandem in the league last year. That's what helps him there. Ridley's okay. Ridley's decent. I think it's a good wide receiver room. I don't think it's great.
That is an outrageous assessment.
It's not outrageous. It's not.
It is. It truly is.
I think I gotta say what. I would take the Jets with Wilson and Who's the guy?
You don't even know who it is.
I'm blanking on his name. I know his name. I'm just blanking on it. The guy from the Chargers. Mike Williams. And the Yak God, Malachi Corley.
That's never played a game over DeAndre, like Hall of Famer DeAndre Hopkins.
DeAndre Hopkins, like 35 years old.
He's not
maybe even older.
He literally hasn't had a bad season yet. He has not.
Eventually, he's going to have one.
I don't think it's this year.
Hey, can I ask you a question? Just because real quick, just aside, you got my records. Me and Rob have this debate, and I got to know what you two would think. Actually, I don't even know if Nigel counts because Nigel's got a horse in this race, but so does Wudi. So I guess it doesn't matter. Who's the receiver you'd rather have, Garrett Wilson or George Pickens?
I mean, that's not even a real question.
That's what I said.
No disrespect to George Pickens, but I would rather have DeAndre Hopkins right now than George Pickens. No disrespect though. No disrespect.
Not taken.
I mean, Pickens is good though. He's actually really good. He is an underrated talent. But this is what I say because I have to deal with Jets fans trying to tell me that Garrett is the best receiver in the world.
I wouldn't say that. He's top. I think this year's top 5 by the end of the year.
He could be. He could be top 5 statistically, no doubt. But there's a lot of great talent at that position. I think it's actually the most talent-rich position in football. There are so many good wide receivers out there. Like someone like Mike Evans almost never gets mentioned, but he is so good at the different facets of playing that position. So I'm not saying that George Pickens is bad by any means. I think he's a really good, bright young player. But I think Garrett can almost do everything better. And now what we are going to see with what we can assume is better quarterback play. I mean, the sky's the limit. So, yeah, I'm about to take Garrett. Pickens. That's what I'm saying. A more appropriate question is like Pickens and like DK Metcalf.
I would take 80s star receiver, concussion-riddled Altoon over George Pickens.
It's amazing the answers you come up with when you're own, like you make up your own rules as you go. Like you ask a question and then your answer is just like, wait, nobody said we could go through the decades and pick and play a player.
I'm just saying, put Altoon on the field today. He's still better than George Pickens.
Listen, friends, family, countrymen. I think we.
Wait, you didn't answer. You didn't answer though.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm probably with Wudi. I think the same thing. I feel like I love Pickens a lot. I like him a lot. It's tough. It's tough, man. It's tough.
He's a good player. I've never
100% he is. 100% he is. But I probably go with I don't think I'm going to go with Pickens.
I'm keeping score, Rob. So that's like another 2 on the I think you've only gotten one guy to agree with you.
Just wait till week 6, man.
Yeah,
week 6.
Pickens is going 9 catches.
Yeah.
I think 9 catches, 204, and 2 touchdowns against the
Love
Chiefs.
it.
Who's doing that?
Love it.
It's Sauce Gardner, the best quarterback in this era.
Listen, this has been a boatloads of fun. Rob, thank you so much, my man, for coming on. We would love it if you came on another time. Yeah, in the very near future. You were fantastic. You great takes. Gene obviously knows how to pick his friends. Unfortunately, Gene doesn't know how to conduct himself when his friends are here. Wudi, you're always a pleasure, my man. It's been great. Listen, if you don't know, now you know. This is the Pop Off. It is a podcast that is part of the Morning Brew Sports Network. Make sure you check them out on YouTube or whatever socials you are keen to. Make sure you check us out every Friday, 2:00 Eastern. We are here. There's a couple things that we missed. Like one, PoP champions are Argentina. So that happened earlier this week. And the Euro champions, Spain, what a game. They beat out England. I mean, a little controversial on that end if you watch the game. So we had a couple championships, a couple trophies dolled out. But that's about it. We had a wild, well, you guys had a wild American national anthem sung during the All-Star game.
I thought it was great. I loved
sure,
it.
of course you did. Of course,
you hate this country.
Best rendition since Roseanne Barr.
yeah, or Fergie, right? And listen, those uniforms, that is one hat you will never see me buy. Just so you guys know that I will never buy either of those hats. Let's sign off here.
Wait, I do want to say, are we going to say things we missed?
Yeah, go ahead, man. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just wanted, because I didn't know if we were doing that or if we were just getting off. I just want to say, there's been a lot of it's sad. There's been a lot of deaths in Hollywood and stuff lately, and we haven't really had a chance to discuss a lot of them, because we just haven't been on. But I just want to shout out one of the funniest comedians to ever do it. Just passed away yesterday, Bob Newhart. Shout out to Bob Newhart. He's on the same network as you, Nigel. So right, he's a CBS guy, right?
I believe so. I believe so. Yeah. Also
yeah. So I do want to say, rest in peace and thoughts and prayers to his family and whatnot. And Sierra, real quick to you, I think next week we do NFC West, right?
I think so.
We gotta check the schedule, but it'll definitely be on the docket. We're doing every division.
Yeah.
So Sierra, definitely the only way you won't miss it is if you show up every Friday.
Yeah, and then I can explain to you why the San Francisco 49ers are coming in last place.
All right. Now we're good, right? We're good. Okay, great. Wudi, any last words from you?
Yeah, man. I got a flight to catch in like 6 hours.
Nice.
So that whole gauntlet. So I just hope everyone has a great weekend, a great week. I am so excited. He sure is a certified hater. I'm so excited to just get out there and I don't know if I'll be here next week, but we'll see what can be done there. But good luck to Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. That is the event that I'll be watching tomorrow night. All right, I was supposed to be watching Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, but Tyson, I don't know, he's too old or something like that, so he's fighting Mike Perry instead. But the WNBA versus Team USA, I'll be watching. Let's go, Caitlin. Let's go, Angel.
Amazing. Weekend words from you, Gene.
Have a good weekend, guys. Yeah, you know what? I won't be watching tomorrow night just because
we know
shit to do.
We know. Rob, any weekend words from you?
Tonight the Yankees turnaround starts. They got to start playing some better baseball, man.
Yes, sir.
It's been a rough 4 weeks, but hopefully they can right that ship starting tonight.
There you go. Well, fingers crossed for you. I'm actually going to the Jays game tonight, so they play off against Detroit, I believe. So, man, I got so many hats. I got to figure out which one I'm going to wear. It's going to be a big day for me tonight. Also, if you heard a lot of engines outside of my window, that's because I'm very close to the Toronto Honda Indy, which is happening this weekend in this city. So things are bananas out by. I'm very, very close to. And you know what? On that note, hey, it's Friday, baby. Let's everybody have a good weekend. Be safe. Enjoy whatever weather comes your way, because you know what? If it rains, it's actually not that bad. You'll be all right. Listen, got nothing but love for you. On behalf of the Pop Off and the rest of the crew here at the Morning Brew Sports Network, peace.